Here's how I stopped myself from absolutely exploding on my husband when we were doing chores. So my mom is coming to visit, and last night we were frantically trying to clean up the house before she comes. I'm on my hands and knees scrubbing, and Matt's walking around the house doing things, and he comes up to me and he goes, "Is there anything that you want me to focus on?" And in that moment, in my head, I heard, "How do I clean the house?" And I felt myself getting that like irritation rising. And I heard a little voice in my head being like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Did you really just ask that?" And so instead of saying that and reacting from that initial interpretation of what he was asking, I expressed, "I'm noticing that I'm feeling really irritated about that question." And in just letting him know my experience without projecting or blaming, that gave him the opportunity to clarify what he meant when he asked that question. So that I wasn't just responding from what I thought he was asking. And he's like, "No, no, 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 no. I meant, is there something immediately right now that you want me to focus on? Something specific that I can get done first?" And I was like, "Okay, thank you for clarifying." I literally thanked him and I said, because in my head, I thought you were asking how to clean the house. And I was like, I don't know, like, however you're supposed to clean the house when you're an adult. That was my initial reaction that I felt inside. And I was like, I let him know like what was going on in me. And I thanked him for clarifying. And I apologized for my initial irritation at him. And that interaction took all of 90 seconds, 2 minutes. And there was no tension in the air after that moment of clarification. And we moved on and we kept cleaning the house. And that is such an important and necessary skill in relationships, to not react from your initial interpretation of what your partner does or says or doesn't do or doesn't say. Because it's very, very easy to have this story in your body mind and then react as if that is the absolute truth of what's happening. But when you can slow down enough with what's happening in your body, notice that something is happening in your body and say it out loud, "Here's what's happening inside of me," instead of, "You're making me feel like you don't know how to clean the house," right? That's very different from, "I'm noticing that I'm feeling irritated around that question." So you can still let your partner know that something that they said is rubbing you the wrong way. It's not about brushing over your experience. It's about taking full ownership of your experience, putting it into the air to ask for clarification, to see if maybe the story and the interpretation that you have is not the full picture. And you're actually allowing your partner the time and space to clarify and giving your partner the benefit of the doubt versus assuming that they're an idiot or they're incompetent or how could you or you don't care, right? It gives the opportunity for both of you and your partner, to meet in the middle and come to a place of clarification and understanding, which dissolves tension and brings you closer together.